Have you ever felt the weight of absence, the kind that lingers in quiet corners, in memories that flutter like delicate leaves in the wind? Today, I want to speak about a traveler who ventured beyond what we could see, beyond what we could imagine, and never returned. There's something both beautiful and haunting about journeys that lead away from us. The traveler carried dreams that were larger than the world itself, dreams that whispered of distant lands, uncharted waters, and skies painted with colors no one had names for. Each step taken was a promise to herself, a promise to explore, to discover, to feel life in its rawest, most untamed form. We often wonder what it means when someone we know doesn't return. Some say it is loss, some call it fate, but I think it is also a reminder of the courage it takes to step into the unknown. The traveler left behind traces, footprints of hope, fragments of stories, laughter that echoes still in empty hallways. Every day, in the simplest moments, the absence feels like a quiet companion. Yet, in that absence, there is a lesson. The world is vast, and life is meant to be lived boldly, even when the path ahead is uncertain. There's an ache in imagining the places she might have seen, the people she may have met, the stars she might have slept under. But that ache is tinged with inspiration. It teaches that bravery doesn't always promise a return, and sometimes the most profound adventures are the ones that change us forever, even from afar. Her journey reminds us to listen to the call of our own hearts. It urges us to pack our own curiosities, to embrace the fear of stepping into the unknown, and to chase the moments that make us feel alive. Not all who wander are lost. Some are finding parts of themselves that the ordinary world cannot hold. And so we carry her story not as sorrow, but as a quiet flame lighting the corners of our own ambitions. We remember the courage it takes to leave, the strength it takes to follow one's path, and the beauty of a soul untethered by expectation. She may never return, but in every choice we make to seek, to explore, and to dream, her journey lives on. The traveler who never returned reminds us that life is not measured in arrivals, but in the audacity of movement, in the moments we dare to step beyond the familiar, and in the whispers of possibility that follow us wherever we go. The beauty and courage of stepping into the unknown is something that resonates deeply within each of us, even if we do not always acknowledge it. From the earliest moments of life, there is a natural tendency to seek comfort, to follow familiar paths, and to linger where we feel safe. Yet the very essence of growth, of self-discovery, and of transformation lies in the willingness to leave those comforts behind, even for a moment, and to venture into the unknown. Stepping into the unknown is an act that requires immense courage because it is not simply about walking into unfamiliar physical spaces. It is about facing uncertainty, confronting fear, and embracing the possibility of failure. There is a particular kind of bravery in this, one that does not announce itself loudly or demand recognition, but reveals itself quietly in the decisions made in silence, in the choices that feel risky, in the leaps of faith that are taken without a safety net. To step into the unknown is to acknowledge that life is vast and layered, full of possibilities that cannot always be predicted, planned, or controlled, and to embrace the adventure that comes from surrendering to the flow of experience. There is also a profound beauty in this courage. It is the beauty of the human spirit stretching beyond limitations, of a heart daring to trust its instincts, of a mind willing to embrace uncertainty with curiosity rather than fear. When someone steps into the unknown, they are engaging in an act of creativity, in a dance with possibility, in a dialogue with the world that is unscripted and authentic. Each step becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of life, adding depth, color, and texture to an existence that would otherwise be monotone. The unknown challenges the senses, stimulates thought, and opens doors to experiences that the familiar could never offer. It is in these moments that one discovers the full extent of inner strength, resilience, and ingenuity, often uncovering qualities that might have remained dormant if life had stayed comfortably predictable. Stepping into the unknown also cultivates a unique form of self-awareness. It demands attentiveness, mindfulness, and presence because there are no maps, guides, or assurances to rely on. Every choice matters, and every observation can alter the course of the journey. In the absence of certainty, intuition becomes a guiding force, and in the face of doubt, determination becomes a companion. The unknown teaches lessons that cannot be learned in textbooks or classrooms, lessons about adaptability, patience, and the willingness to embrace change. It is a reminder that life itself is a journey with no guaranteed outcomes, that each twist and turn holds the potential for discovery, and that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Moreover, the courage to step into the unknown inspires others in ways that are often invisible at first. Witnessing someone embrace uncertainty with confidence, curiosity, and grace can ignite a spark within those who are hesitant or afraid to venture beyond their comfort zones. It becomes a subtle call to action, a demonstration that bravery is not reserved for extraordinary heroes, but is accessible to anyone willing to confront the unfamiliar. This ripple effect of courage reminds us that acts of bravery, no matter how personal or private, have the power to influence communities, to encourage collective growth, and to create an environment where exploration and risk-taking are celebrated rather than feared. The unknown also fosters a sense of wonder and awe that is difficult to achieve within the confines of the predictable. There is something magical about uncertainty, a thrill in the not knowing, a fascination in the possibilities that lie just beyond reach. Stepping into the unknown can awaken senses dulled by routine, revive a spirit wearied by repetition, and remind the heart of its capacity to dream, hope, and imagine. It encourages a playful engagement with life, where mistakes are viewed as experiments, challenges as invitations, and detours as opportunities for creativity. In this space, the individual is free to explore the full spectrum of emotions, to encounter moments of profound insight, and to experience joy, wonder, and even sorrow with heightened clarity. Finally, the courage to embrace the unknown nurtures a sense of authenticity. By stepping beyond expectations, routines, and prescribed roles, one allows the true self to emerge, to express desires, aspirations, and values that may have been hidden beneath layers of conformity or fear. It is in the unknown that people often find their most honest selves, unburdened by the weight of what is familiar or what is expected by others. This authenticity is empowering because it is grounded in experience, in exploration, and in a willingness to accept the unpredictable nature of life. The beauty and courage of stepping into the unknown are intertwined, each amplifying the other, creating a cycle of growth, discovery, and self-realization that continues to unfold with every choice to venture beyond the known. The lingering presence and inspiration of absence is a phenomenon that touches life in ways both subtle and profound. Absence is often perceived as emptiness, as a space left behind when someone or something is no longer physically present, yet it carries within it a quiet power, a resonance that shapes thoughts, emotions, and even actions. When a presence is removed from daily life, it is not only the physical void that is felt, but the echoes of influence, the imprint of personality, and the trace of memories that remain. These lingering impressions act as silent companions, whispering reminders of connection, of lessons learned, and of experiences shared. Absence, though often associated with loss, is also a source of reflection, introspection, and inspiration, offering opportunities to see the world and oneself through a lens shaped by what is no longer immediately tangible. The presence of absence teaches awareness. It draws attention to the subtleties that might otherwise be overlooked. The empty chair at a table, the quiet corners of a room, the spaces where laughter or conversation once existed, all serve as reminders of interactions, choices, and moments that held meaning. In noticing these spaces, one becomes more conscious of relationships, of bonds, and of the ways people touch our lives. Absence is not simply the lack of someone's presence, but the presence of memory and impact. It reminds us that every encounter, every shared word, and every gesture leaves an imprint, one that lingers even when physical proximity is gone. This awareness fosters gratitude, encouraging reflection on the value of experiences and the significance of human connections that shape who we are and how we navigate the world. Absence also cultivates creativity and imagination. In the void left behind, the mind often seeks to fill gaps, reconstruct experiences, and envision possibilities. Memories are revisited, stories are imagined, and understanding deepens as one pieces together fragments of what once was. This process allows for reinterpretation and personal growth, as absence invites questions and reflections that may not arise in the constant presence of someone or something familiar. It stimulates the imagination, offering a space where new ideas can take root and perspectives can shift. The mind becomes a canvas, painting memories with richer colors, exploring emotional depth, and finding inspiration in the subtle, often unnoticed traces left behind. Moreover, the lingering presence of absence encourages resilience and adaptation. When someone or something is no longer directly available, life continues, and individuals are compelled to navigate the world with new strategies, to find strength in solitude, and to discover ways to maintain connections even across distance or time. Absence challenges the human spirit to adapt, to hold on to what is meaningful while embracing change, and to transform longing or uncertainty into growth. It can be both a teacher and a guide, shaping character, fostering independence, and reinforcing the capacity to endure challenges with grace. Through this process, absence becomes not only a marker of what is missing, but also a catalyst for transformation and self-discovery. Inspiration emerges from absence as well. The memory of what is gone can serve as motivation, a spark that ignites action or reflection. It can remind one of values to uphold, dreams to pursue, or qualities to cultivate. The traces left behind become guiding lights, subtle yet persistent, encouraging engagement with life in ways that honor the past while shaping the future. Absence can foster empathy, as recognizing the impact of someone's presence, or the lack thereof, heightens awareness of others' experiences, feelings, and contributions. It reminds us of the delicate balance between connection and separation, between engagement and reflection, and between presence and the space that absence creates. Absence also deepens emotional resonance. The ache of missing someone or something brings awareness to the intensity and significance of attachment. It allows for moments of quiet contemplation where feelings can be examined, understood, and processed. In these moments, the heart learns patience, the mind learns reflection, and the soul learns to carry impressions that do not require physical interaction to remain powerful. The lingering presence of absence becomes a source of depth, enriching the emotional landscape and cultivating a sensitivity to subtleties that might otherwise go unnoticed. Finally, absence carries a paradoxical gift. While it signifies what is no longer there, it also reinforces what remains. Memories, lessons, and impacts endure beyond physical presence, demonstrating that true connection transcends immediate interaction. The inspiration drawn from absence encourages a deeper engagement with life, a heightened appreciation for fleeting moments, and a recognition of the enduring effects of relationships, choices, and experiences. It is within this delicate balance that absence reveals its quiet power, shaping understanding, guiding action, and leaving a lasting imprint on the heart and mind. Life is measured by the audacity to explore, not by returns, and this idea holds a quiet, profound truth that often goes unnoticed in the rush of daily existence. From the earliest moments, there is an innate pull to understand the world, to step beyond familiar spaces, and to seek experiences that challenge and expand our perception. Yet, society often emphasizes outcomes, tangible results, and visible successes, and in doing so, it risks overshadowing the value of the journey itself. To measure life solely by what is achieved, or what is gained is to overlook the courage, curiosity, and resilience required to embark on any meaningful exploration. True growth, insight, and transformation emerge not from guarantees of return, but from the willingness to move forward into uncertainty, to embrace the unpredictable, and to honor the journey as a testament to courage and vision. The audacity to explore begins with a single decision, the choice to step beyond the familiar. It is not an act of recklessness, but of intentional curiosity, a conscious acknowledgement that life is vast and layered with opportunities that cannot be entirely mapped or anticipated. Every choice to venture beyond comfort zones carries inherent risks, yet it also carries the potential for profound discovery. In exploring the unknown, one encounters situations, ideas, and emotions that challenge assumptions, provoke reflection, and expand understanding. It is through this engagement with uncertainty that individuals cultivate flexibility, resilience, and adaptability, qualities that remain valuable long after the journey itself concludes. The courage to continue, even in the absence of certainty, is a measure of inner strength and a marker of a life lived fully, deeply, and authentically. Exploration, in this sense, is not merely physical, but also intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. To measure life by the audacity to explore is to recognize the importance of curiosity, creativity, and the willingness to question. It involves seeking knowledge, engaging with diverse perspectives, and opening oneself to experiences that might challenge preconceived notions. The audacity to explore calls for vulnerability, an acceptance that mistakes, failures, and setbacks are integral to growth. Each moment of discomfort becomes an opportunity to learn, each encounter with the unfamiliar a chance to expand understanding, and each decision to move forward a declaration of trust in one's own instincts and capacities. It is in the uncharted territories, whether in the world outside or within oneself, that the richest lessons are often found. Moreover, the audacity to explore nurtures a sense of purpose. By prioritizing the journey over the guaranteed outcome, one learns to value intention, presence, and engagement over mere accumulation. The experiences gained, the challenges faced, and the insights discovered become markers of a life lived fully, demonstrating a commitment to self, discovery, and authentic expression. Exploration without expectation allows for spontaneity, creativity, and serendipity, enriching life with moments that might otherwise go unnoticed. In this framework, life's worth is measured not by what is returned, possessed, or achieved, but by the depth of engagement, the courage to take risks, and the willingness to embrace uncertainty with openness and grace. The audacity to explore also inspires others. When someone embarks on a journey without the guarantee of return, it serves as a demonstration of bravery, resilience, and faith in the process of living. Witnessing such courage encourages reflection, challenges complacency, and invites others to examine their own relationship with risk, curiosity, and discovery. In this way, exploration becomes a shared human experience, one that fosters connection, empathy, and inspiration. Even when journeys remain unseen or unacknowledged by the wider world, the very act of moving forward, of daring to explore, creates ripples that influence communities and shape cultural narratives about what it means to live a meaningful life. There is a profound beauty in this philosophy of life, one that elevates experience over certainty, curiosity over complacency, and courage over fear. Measuring life by audacity rather than by return encourages presence, reflection, and attentiveness, as each step is both meaningful and instructive. Every journey into the unknown cultivates insight, nurtures resilience, and deepens understanding of the self and the world. The audacity to explore challenges conventional metrics of success, reminding us that life's richness lies in engagement, in the willingness to embrace uncertainty, and in the pursuit of experiences that illuminate the heart, mind, and spirit. Ultimately, embracing life in this way transforms ordinary existence into something extraordinary. By valuing exploration over outcomes, by seeking depth over convenience, and by honoring courage over security, one learns to appreciate the intricate, unpredictable, and often miraculous nature of living. The audacity to explore becomes both compass and guide, shaping perspectives, fostering growth, and inviting an ongoing dialogue between curiosity, courage, and the boundless possibilities that lie beyond the familiar lessons learned from journeys that change us from afar are among the most subtle yet profound experiences a person can encounter. Often we expect growth to come from direct confrontation, from active engagement, or from challenges we face head on, yet some of the most meaningful transformations occur in the quiet space of observation, reflection, and indirect experience. There is a remarkable depth in learning from journeys that are not physically ours to walk, yet whose impact reaches across distance, time, and circumstance. These journeys may belong to someone we know, someone we have only heard about, or even to a collective human experience, and yet they leave impressions that shape perception, behavior, and understanding. To witness, imagine, or internalize such journeys requires empathy, attentiveness, and a willingness to engage with the unfamiliar, cultivating a form of growth that is both intimate and expansive. When we observe or hear about journeys that change others, we are invited into a reflective space where our own assumptions, beliefs, and priorities can be re-examined. The path someone takes may be radically different from the one we inhabit, yet it often illuminates universal themes of resilience, courage, curiosity, and vulnerability. Witnessing these experiences from afar allows for contemplation without immediate pressure, creating room for understanding to deepen over time. We may recognize patterns, draw parallels to our own lives, or feel inspired to embrace change, all without having to endure the risks and uncertainties firsthand. In this way, distance amplifies reflection, offering clarity and perspective that direct experience sometimes obscures by urgency or intensity. There is also an element of imagination and empathy involved in learning from journeys we do not personally undertake. By mentally or emotionally placing ourselves in the position of someone navigating unknown terrain, confronting obstacles, or discovering new truths, we develop a sensitivity to experiences outside our immediate reality. This imaginative engagement allows us to explore emotional and psychological landscapes beyond our own, expanding understanding of human resilience and the variety of ways in which people confront the unknown. It fosters compassion and connection even in the absence of physical proximity, demonstrating that personal growth is not solely dependent on direct action, but can also be cultivated through observation, reflection, and thoughtful engagement with the experiences of others. The lessons gained from distant journeys often highlight the transformative power of courage, persistence, and adaptability. When we see someone step into uncertainty, face challenges, or pursue a path without guarantees of success, it reminds us that growth is rarely linear and often requires risk, resilience, and faith. Even without participating in the journey ourselves, we internalize these values, recognizing the significance of choice, intention, and perseverance. These indirect experiences encourage us to confront our own fears, to reconsider limitations, and to embrace possibilities that might have seemed inaccessible before. They illustrate that transformation is not bound by proximity, and that inspiration can traverse distance, touching lives in ways that are subtle yet enduring. Moreover, learning from journeys from afar emphasizes the importance of perspective. When removed from the immediate pressures of the journey, we are able to observe the broader arcs of change, noting patterns, consequences, and moments of revelation that might be invisible to those immersed in the process. This perspective nurtures wisdom, patience, and discernment, allowing for insights that are not rushed or superficial. We become attuned to the nuances of human experience, appreciating both the triumphs and struggles that define growth. In observing these journeys, we also gain awareness of the interconnectedness of experiences, understanding that individual choices and paths resonate beyond personal boundaries, influencing communities, relationships, and collective consciousness. The lessons learned from afar also highlight the significance of reflection and interpretation. Observing a journey is only part of the process. The true transformation occurs as we engage with what we witness, extract meaning, and integrate insights into our own lives. This reflective practice strengthens self-awareness, enriches understanding, and cultivates a deeper sense of empathy. We begin to recognize how the experiences of others mirror aspects of our own potential, revealing strengths, vulnerabilities, and possibilities that might have remained hidden without the example of distant journeys. By internalizing these lessons, we enrich our own decision-making, broaden our perspective, and enhance our capacity to respond to challenges with insight, creativity, and grace. Ultimately, the lessons drawn from journeys that change us from afar demonstrate that growth is not always tied to direct experience. Influence travels in unexpected ways, shaping hearts and minds through observation, imagination, and reflection. The courage, resilience, and wisdom witnessed in these journeys inspire, inform, and guide, revealing that transformation can occur even when physical presence is impossible. These experiences teach that life's most profound changes are not always the result of immediate action, but often emerge through attentive engagement with the journeys of others, through thoughtful contemplation, and through the willingness to embrace the lessons that distance and perspective offer. Embracing curiosity and following the heart's call is a journey that begins quietly, often unnoticed, within the deepest corners of our own minds and souls. Curiosity is more than a fleeting interest. It is an inner compass that draws us toward the unknown, the unexplored, and the unfamiliar. It whispers questions in moments of stillness, nudges us toward new experiences, and ignites a desire to understand the world and ourselves in ways that go beyond surface knowledge. Following the heart's call is an act of trust and courage, an acknowledgement that the life most worth living is not dictated solely by logic, expectation, or routine, but by the instincts, passions, and longings that reside within. Together, curiosity and the heart's call create a powerful force, one that pushes boundaries, inspires exploration, and leads to growth that cannot be measured by conventional standards. Curiosity encourages us to look beyond the obvious, to ask questions that might initially seem uncomfortable, and to seek answers in places others might overlook. It is a spark that illuminates the mind, guiding attention toward details, patterns, and possibilities that may otherwise remain hidden. By embracing curiosity, we nurture the habit of observing the world with openness, of noticing subtleties, and of challenging assumptions. It is a mindset that values learning over certainty, exploration over predictability, and wonder over complacency. Curiosity fuels the desire to experiment, to take risks, and to engage with life in ways that stretch understanding and cultivate resilience. It is the seed from which discovery grows, the lens through which ordinary moments are transformed into extraordinary experiences, and the invitation to see life in its full complexity and richness. Following the heart's call requires a different kind of bravery. It asks us to listen attentively to our own instincts, to trust our desires, and to act in alignment with what feels authentic, even when external circumstances suggest caution or conformity. The heart's call is rarely neat, predictable, or free from obstacles. It often leads through uncertainty, discomfort, and challenge. Yet it is in answering this call that the soul finds expression, purpose, and fulfillment. To follow, it is to acknowledge that life is not merely a series of tasks or responsibilities, but a canvas on which we are invited to paint with the colors of our passions, aspirations, and unique visions. It demands commitment, patience, and the willingness to navigate doubt and fear with grace. When curiosity and the heart's call converge, they create a dynamic interplay that encourages continuous growth. Curiosity illuminates possibilities, offering insights and questions that guide exploration, while the heart provides direction, grounding the journey in what is meaningful and resonant. This combination nurtures an adventurous spirit that is unafraid to venture into uncertainty, to embrace new perspectives, and to take risks in pursuit of understanding and fulfillment. The individual who honors both curiosity and the heart's guidance is equipped not only to seek knowledge and experiences, but also to integrate them deeply into a life that feels authentic, vibrant, and purposeful. Following the heart's call also fosters resilience. Life rarely unfolds according to plan, and the path inspired by curiosity and intuition is often scattered with challenges, setbacks, and unexpected turns. Yet, these obstacles are not deterrents but teachers, shaping character, strengthening resolve, and revealing inner resources that might otherwise remain untapped. The willingness to persist, to adapt, and to remain open in the face of difficulty reflects the transformative power of listening to one's own instincts. It demonstrates that the journey itself, with all its twists and turns, holds value equal to any destination or outcome. Furthermore, embracing curiosity and following the heart cultivates empathy and connection. By seeking to understand the world with openness and engaging life with authenticity, one develops sensitivity to the experiences, emotions, and perspectives of others. Curiosity invites listening and learning, while the heart fosters compassion and intentionality. Together, they create a foundation for relationships, collaboration, and shared growth that is rooted in mutual understanding and respect. The lessons learned from such an approach extend far beyond the individual, influencing communities and inspiring others to explore, reflect, and act with integrity. Ultimately, curiosity and the heart's call shape a life of depth, meaning, and vitality. They encourage attentiveness to the richness of experience, the pursuit of personal passions, and the courage to explore paths uncharted. In embracing these guiding forces, one discovers a life that is not measured solely by conventional achievements or visible outcomes, but by the authenticity, wonder, and wisdom cultivated along the way. The interplay between curiosity and heartfelt guidance fosters a continual unfolding of understanding, growth, and self-realization, creating a journey that is both deeply personal and universally resonant. The pursuit of curiosity and the courage to heed the heart's call illuminate the essence of human experience, reminding us that life's richness is found not only in accomplishments or returns, but in the willingness to explore, to dream, and to follow the inner guidance that calls us toward discovery, transformation, and the full expression of our truest selves.